Hi there, Richard Rosalevich with Polishing Your Diamond, a personal development podcast. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Richard Rosalevich. This is a podcast on personal development, really bite-sized chunks on how you can evolve and start making transformations on yourself. There's a hell of a lot of content out there these days that's geared towards business and making money. However, there's not so much about actually being able to work on your core skills and behaviours as an individual and priming yourself to be the best version of yourself. And the best part about all of this, it fits into all of those areas that you might want to be successful in anyway. So it could be wealth, health, love, business, money. It could be all of those areas. And all of my episodes are small bite-sized chunks, generally between 5 and 20 minutes long. So they aim to really give you something to go away with, some kind of tip, some kind of trick, some hack, some tool that you can work on personally that's going to support you on your quest to polishing your diamond, your brain. So as this is episode 1, I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself, just so you've got an idea of who I am, because most of you won't know. I've been in the field of learning and development for 14 years. I have worked for a couple of very large organisations. I still do work for one of them. I have a full-time career as one of the heads of our India operations, which is based in Pune, which is in the state of Maharashtra, which is where I've lived now for the last 3 years. I'll probably be here for a lot longer as well. I have coaching and training credentials. I'm an NLP practitioner, timeline therapist, hypnotherapist, and I NLP coach. And then on top of all of that, which is the best part of it, is I've got all of those years of experience actually in the field doing the job. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about who I am, you can go over to my website where I've got a small bio. So you go over to www.polishingyourdiamond.com. You'll also be able to find my podcasts on iTunes, on YouTube, on Spotify. YouTube, but mainly Spotify and iTunes is where you're going to find the podcast. And then for those that like video, go to YouTube. You might be watching this now as a video. You can also hook up with me on Instagram, IGTV, Facebook and LinkedIn, where there'll be lots of snippets of content and everything will be linked to my website. So look, I read a lot, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. And a lot of everything that we all learn comes from someone or somewhere. So I'll do my very best where I can to reference people that I've learned from, whether that is somebody that I've learned from in business, or it could be a friend, or it could be a family member, or it could be from reading a book, or whatever it is. But I'll try and do my best to reference that person. But I do apologise in advance if I do miss anybody out. So in this episode, we're going to start talking about changing your emotional state. An area I will more than likely have multiple episodes on. In fact, the next 2 episodes following this are going to be add-ons to this podcast today. So I first came across changing state about 12 plus years ago when I first did my NLP training. And there's also a from to technique, which is based on a best-selling book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And you'll hear me and many other affluent talkers on changing state. And probably the most famous, in my opinion, and the best at it, again, in my opinion, who I would class as an indirect mentor, somebody that I've learned a lot from and has helped me change in the past, is Tony Robbins. If you haven't heard of Tony Robbins, then you can just type his name in on Google and you'll find plenty of stuff out there. But I'd say he's probably one of the best at supporting people and talking about emotional state and changing it in an instant. So what is it? Well, simply put, it's how you move negatively conditioned feelings about yourself and your situation to the positive ones that you're going to desire. Now, the power of changing just one emotion or one set of linked emotions can change your situation, maybe even your life, or maybe just a part of it. But it's going to help you for the better. So look, whether you're a young adult, still early in your career, or a seasoned professional, feeling the pressures and demands on you, it's easy to get hijacked by doubtful emotions or tough situations and get into a mental fight to try and overcome them. You second guess your thinking, your direction, your decisions. Your actions and emotions can get in your way, but you don't have to fight them. Just learn to go with them to another place, a better place, instantly. As a society, we've set up a world of contrast. Good or bad, high or low, wealthy or poor, right or wrong, success or failure, in essence, a life of this or that. So it's not surprising then that our brains are wired to think this way. However, we can use these exact same contrast to move us from where we are now to where we want to be by applying logic, emotions together for combined power. Most people consider emotions as part of who they are rather than as feelings that we can control, providing of course that we understand how to divert unwanted emotions and feelings. So I'm just going to repeat that again. Most people consider emotions as part of who they are rather than as feelings that we can control, providing of course that we understand how to divert unwanted emotions and feelings. With that in mind, it's important to understand and identify if you fit into the category of think emotions are who you are without being able to control them. Because if you are, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be more difficult for you to make those changes, but it's easily possible. But you have to be honest with yourself and know that you can control or at least manage your emotions. There's actually a book, The Chimp Within, Professor Steve Peters, and he talks about is no one can control their emotions, but what you can do is you can manage them. So a book I'd highly recommend if you're interested in understanding about yourself. By doing all of this, we can then begin to harness their power and control them rather than them controlling us. We come to understand that emotions are not real except in our own minds. And if we decide to change our minds, we can change our emotions. We just need a process for doing this effectively. And for most of us, this is really possible to do quite easily. For most of my working life, I've viewed emotions as energy in motion, which moves us and the way that we feel. An emotion is therefore a mental energy that not only influences our own behaviour, but also influences those that we communicate with daily. Emotions that drive us and others, lifting us or pulling us down, propelling us forward or pushing us back, getting a yes or getting a no. So the biggest resistance to changing our emotions and improving our states of mind so they serve us rather than us serving them is that we try to use willpower alone to overcome these negative emotional habits. Now, we try to do this in our heads, and this often creates frustrations because of conflicting thoughts and thoughts that are whirling around in our head. And I found early in my career that the best way to change them is not to resist them or to fight them, but to take them out of your head and apply the contrasting emotions in a logical way. So it's a quick and simple way to divert your focus away from emotions that you don't want or you don't like or that don't serve you well. There's the technique that I mentioned earlier, which is the from to technique, or some call it the old to new. It's a really practical exercise that only takes minutes or even seconds to use depending on your own personal circumstances. So you don't have to dream big or try to change the world. Just try to decide to change your world as it is right now. One emotion at a time, improve your situation, then improve some more, and then improve some more. And before you know it, you'll be using the productive emotions that can steer you in the right direction that you want to go. So here comes today's first technique, which is going to support your emotional state or changing your emotional state. So what I need you to do is I need you to take a sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle, or create a Word document online or a PowerPoint, or if you don't have any of those, you can use your phone, iPad, whatever it is that you have available. That's absolutely fine. Probably best to do it on your phone because it's what most people have with them these days. You want one column which at the top and number it. So just put 1 to 5 for now, and then underneath that do another 1 to 5, then I'll explain what you then have to do with. For example, in the left-hand column, if I've got a piece of paper with a line down the middle, I might have doubt, I might have inertia, I might have fear, easily distracted, restless, lethargic, and so on. Okay, so these are the ones that I'm feeling at the moment. These are the ones that really bother me, that I really don't like, and I really want to do something about them. So the next thing I need to do is I need to look at what's the opposite productive counter emotion based on the old ones, the present ones I've currently got. So if I use that as an example again, so the doubt, it could be conviction and belief. That could be my positive counterproductive emotion for that. Inertia would be action. If it was fear, it could be courage. Easily distracted, focused and disciplined. If it was restless, I might be calm and relaxed. And if I was lethargic, it could be that I want to be energized and active. So this would be my opposites to my poor, unwanted, negative emotions. So then once you've got these, whenever you feel one of those or a combination of these emotions in that left-hand column, refer to your from to sheet. Read, recognize and accept the emotion on the left-hand side. But then what you need to do is you then need to look at the one on the right-hand side, and you need to understand that this is the one that you want. This is the one you want to feel. This is the one that you want to put into play right now. Now, to add power to this, close your eyes for a few seconds to picture in your mind's eye a situation when you're applying and behaving in the desired way based on that right-hand emotion, on that right-hand side column. If you can start to imagine it, it's going to help you lift it and it's going to help you start to apply it. Imagination is everything. If you can picture the positive emotion, it will prime you into having that emotion. But look, the one key thing is you have to want to change as well. If you don't want to make those changes, then you're going to struggle to really apply this. So we all have our own ways of testing different times and places to refer to this sheet. So you might want to do it first thing in the morning. You might want to do it first thing after a workout, so your endorphins are going inside you. It could be that you want to do it before you go to bed. It might be that you want to do it in the middle of the afternoon just to really refresh yourself. So look, whatever works best for you. But the best thing is that you need to be persistent with this, because persistence is going to beat resistance. And the more that you practice it, the more that you're going to get into those positive habits of changing your emotional state that you're looking for. Don't expect to change your ways just after one or two readings. It's going to take a little bit of time and conscious effort to make those changes. But when you do, they're going to become a better part of you. So start eliminating the old and replacing with the new today. That's it for today's podcast. I hope that you've enjoyed the subject today. Go over to my website, polishingyourdiamond.com, for more content. Subscribe to my newsletter, where I'll email you once a week with insights on personal development. You'll be able to also find my podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, and for anyone who prefers video, go to YouTube. You'll also be able to find me on Instagram, IGTV, Facebook, and LinkedIn, where there will be snippets of content and everything will be linked to my website. Remember, polish your diamond. This has been Richard Rosa. Stay safe and keep active.